I want to show you, because this whole series is clearly not about marriage. This series is going to be about relationships. It's going to be about how God wants us to fight for the oneness that he created in relationships. But I'm going to look at marriage. Marriage is a metaphor for all of life. Marriage is a supreme example. It's the one time we're not forced to get married, but we stand up before God and country and we say, look, I'm choosing to love this woman. I want to love her. Who wouldn't love her? I'm the one that gets to love her. I'm going to be committed to her. And we're going to have a great life together. And then a little bit later, some reality sets in. You know, it's been wisely said that love is blind, but marriage is an eye opener, all right? And it is. And so in the context of a relationship, how many of us, when we get in there, we go, whoa, dude, I didn't know this. I didn't realize it was going to be this hard. And we start to find reasons why we can't make that one relationship work. The one relationship that we said was going to model God's love for the church, and the church's right response to that kind of love is the one that blows up most consistently. And like I said, even if we don't have this great oneness, which is really what God calls us to in marriage, and it's what he calls us to in community and church, we just are undivorced more than we are one. And that's a problem. And here's why. It's because we don't work through the conflicts which are so easily among us. Why? Because we're still broken people. And so I don't care how much you're in love. I don't care what your feelings are. There's going to be moments when those feelings leave, and then it's going to get down to, do you know what biblical love is? Biblical love has nothing to do with feelings. When the Bible describes love, it never uses feeling. That is a cheapened, prostituted definition of love. The Bible defines love with a cross, with commitment, with sacrifice. And so when you find conflict, what are you going to do, child of God? Initiate? Make peace? Fake peace? Or further break peace? Watch this. This is what God calls men to do in marriage. He says, look, you want to love your wife, you want to be a peacemaker, then you will dwell. You'll dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. You will say, this is my 3 acres of land, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to nourish that soil, I'm going to cherish this soil, I'm going to protect this soil, I'm going to provide what this soil needs, and I'm going to bring forth fruit from this soil. I'm going to make it glorious. I'm going to prove George Strait right, that this woman will look so good in love because of the way that I care for her. And I'm going to bring forth from her respect for me. And I'm going to bring forth beauty in this relationship. And the world will long to have a relationship like this because this is my relationship. And I will dwell here. And I will not blame the land. I will not blame the circumstances around me and say there's a drought. I will do what I need to do to irrigate, to bring life to, protection to, and fruit from this land. I will dwell here. That's what men do. They never blame the land. They say, this is my land to farm. This is my vineyard. And by the grace and glory and provision of God, it will be a blessed vineyard. Now, women, don't you want a guy that will do that? They'll say, I'm here for you, babe. I'm going to cherish you and honor you and nourish you and protect you and provide for you and build into you nutrients that will make you blossom in a thing of beauty, that the world will marvel at you because of the care that I have for you. It's what every woman dreams of. But what many guys do is they get there and things get hard. And they find another piece of land somewhere else that just responds to them the way they want it to respond to them. The soil's more fertile. That attendant at work, that partner in business is sometimes a little bit more attentive and hangs on every word and makes you feel certain ways. And so you start to go over there and you don't dwell where you are anymore. What a lot of guys do when things get hard at home is they, in fact, desert. They won't dwell and stay. They take off. Emotionally, physically, they pull back. They go somewhere else to find life because life's too hard to get from here right now. The other thing they often do is if they don't desert and pull out is they stay and they begin to dominate and they begin to be dictatorial. They get to the land and say, let me tell you what's wrong here. Let me tell you what my problem is with you. You're not bringing forth what I want. You're bad land. Produce more fruit, land. Be a better loving land. Be a good land for me. And they intimidate and say, you want to share what I've got as a farmer? You want half of what I take in? Then you better be this. There's not a lot of dwelling there. and it breaks the relationship. Now look, this is not about marriage, it's about every relationship. This goes singles with your roommates, this goes with students, with your parents. God calls you to be a leader in that relationship and to stay there and go, okay, what can I do to make this relationship work? By the way, women, this is what God calls you to do. Over here, what women are called to do is to complete. That's what God says. The reason, women, you have to complete us is because we aren't done baking. We are not done yet being conformed to the image of Christ. And so when you marry us, no matter how much we wooed you and convinced you that you were the luckiest woman on earth, the fact is, you are marrying a flawed, broken person. And so don't be surprised that there are going to be moments when we don't stay and dwell, because we're going to drift off emotionally sometimes, or we're going to be abusive in our leadership sometimes. And I want to know that you're going to help me be the man that I want to be.